starting next weekend, it's my intention to be living out of my backpack every weekend until I get an elk or December rolls around, whichever comes first. That's not to say I'm going to be hunting the whole time, but I'm going to be start scouting after this 4th of July weekend, every weekend. And I'm planning on living out of my pack while I'm doing that. So, with that in mind, I decided this year I'm going to switch to a solid fuel system instead of using a typical gas stove for 2 reasons. One, even this standard Esbit stove is half the weight of a gas stove and gas canister with fuel tablets. The other reason is that with this pandemic situation flaring up and infection rates twice what they were last month, I'm just avoiding the stores, which means that I can't go out to Sportsman's or Cabela's and buy more gas canisters when I run out. So I'm basically going to have to use stuff that I can order online. And Esbit cubes and other solid fuel sources you can order online. With gas canisters, you have to pay a hazmat fee. You can't order them online. There's a hazmat fee, and it's really stupidly expensive to use gas canisters online. So originally I was planning on using this Esbit stove. However, after looking around, I decided to get this stove. The big difference is that this stove comes in this box, which comes in this pouch, has a built-in windscreen, and should burn, from all accounts I've read, burn solid fuel better than a classic Esbit stove. So today we're going to get some weights, and we're going to burn some standard Esbit cubes and a titanium cup that I've recently purchased, and see how long and how many tablets it takes to boil 2 cups of water in this and in this. All right, first things first, let's get some weights. Esbit stove by itself, 3.1 ounces. Expedition Research solid fuel stove by itself, 3.2 ounces. So it's 0.01 ounce heavier than an Esbit stove. Negligible. So let's put this stove together real quick. I've already done it once. Comes in this pouch. Has these 3 legs and a shelf for your solid fuel tablet. All right, well, this stove is more expensive and it's a bit more work to put it together. However, well, here's my comparison. Esbit stove, German classic. So far, Esbit stove is slightly negligibly lighter and easier to put up. However, I have heard that these stoves also can break fairly easily. I haven't really used one yet, but that's what I've heard. Now, the difference here is, I think the main reason for this stove, though, is that it has a built-in windscreen, so it should trap the heat in better than your standard Esbit stove. So we're going to find out today how many cubes it takes to boil 2 cups of water and how long it takes in each stove. Alright, test parameters, if we're going to get all scientific about it. We're going to use the exact same cup with 500 milliliters of water with the lid on it. It's approximately 86 degrees right now, and I live at about, I forget what it was, 4,300 or 4,700 feet elevation. So we're about 40, at least 4,000 feet elevation, if that makes any difference. I'm trying to do this without the tripod because I'm lazy. Alright, as soon as I get this thing going, I'm going to start the stopwatch. Let's move this out of the way. Alright, it took me a little bit to get it going. One thing that's clearly obvious is that I am going to need a windproof lighter. Ooh. That is already obvious to me. Ooh, that heats up fast. Yeah, it heats up really fast. Alright, 6 minutes in on the Esbit stove. Starting to bubble. Alright. 8 minutes in, let's see what we got here. Let's see how much flame we got left on this thing. Oh wow. It's done. That cube is gone. So 8 minutes. 8 minutes, and that's not warm enough for a mountain house, but certainly warm enough for some coffee. Yeah. So it would take at least two to boil water enough for a mountain house. That's about, 1 cube there is about get you a cup of coffee, instant coffee, or some hot cocoa. All right, let's see if the other stove does any better. Okay, straight away, even with this standard Bic lighter, this was a lot easier to light. Hold it in place with your thumb, turn it upside down, light it, and this acts as a windscreen. I was able to light this a lot easier than that Esbit stove. All right, let's see how long this takes. That's +1 for expedition research right there. This stove was a lot easier to light. All right, I got a late start on my timer. So whatever this is whatever this turns out, we're gonna add about a minute, at least a minute to it. I think the Esbit burned for about 8 minutes, which surprised me because that's supposed to burn for about 13 minutes. I have other types of cubes besides Esbit cubes, but I'm just using Esbit right now because that's what's more popularly or commonly known. All right, we're approximately 5 minutes in. Cube is still together. Okay, my watch says approximately 8 minutes. No, I started my stopwatch about a minute after I actually got this thing going, if not a minute and a half. That Esbit's still burnt out already by this time. And the cube It's still going. It's still burning where the Esbit stove burnt out already. So you can definitely get longer burn time out of this stove. Not really boiling yet. I think it burns longer but less intense because it seems to be further away. The flame isn't, I think, a little bit further away from the pot. However, in the back country, I'm liking this being off the ground a bit more than this one. This thing here could probably start a fire if you're not careful. Well, both of them could, but this one you have to be, that one you have to be a lot more careful than this one. That cube is about burning itself out now. It's close to it. I can still see it in there though. Esbit stove, it's the exact same cube, but it's burning a lot longer in this stove. I'll have to try this again with my other fuel tablets. 10 minutes. Still burning. So if there's any takeaway I can get from this right now is you're going to get a lot more burn time out of your fuel tablets with this stove than that one. Probably going to take, yeah, it's about as hot, maybe a few degrees less. Seems like there's less bubbling. So either one, you're gonna have to, it's gonna take 2 tablets to get a rolling boil. But this one's still going. The exact same fuel tablets, but burning a lot longer. A lot longer. That alone makes this stove worth it. I'm getting a lot more out of my fuel. Okay, at least 12 plus 1, at least 13.5 minutes. And that thing is still going. Same exact fuel tablet that I put in this Esbit stove. Exact same, came in the exact same blister pack. And it's still burning in this Expedition Research stove. Granted, there's not much left, but it's still going. Alright. So at least 14 minutes on that. Whereas this one, this tablet burnt out after 8, maybe 9 tops. This one's still going. I think the thing is that this this shelf right here, this indentation, I think it directs all the flame up, and then this right here is a built-in windscreen, so it's directing all the heat in one direction, so it has less surface area to burn at once. I think that's the trick to the stove, why it is burning longer. Still going. It's not a usable flame, but 15 minutes and it's still burning. Alright, so is this stove an improvement over an Esbit? I'm going to say yes indeedy, and worth the extra 0.01 ounces. Well, also easier to light. This one I had when I was trying to hold the cube, light it, and then drop it in place. I suppose I could have put it this way and turned it upside down and light it. Probably could have done the same thing. Alright, well, I think that settles this little experiment. Worth the money? I think it's about 40 bucks. If you're serious about backpacking with solid fuel, yes, that's definitely worth it. All right. Have a good one.